Oh, wait, you're listening.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
You're
Listening
to Radiolab.
For kids!
Radio
From
WNYC.
See?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. Imagine you turn into a tiny tightrope walker
Your tail is balancing you.
and you are sprinting across a narrow power line.
The wind is whistling.
Suddenly, you leap into the air and begin soaring without wings.
You glide in the wind.
And when you hit the ground, you ready yourself for your wildest trick, which is to shut off your brain and then regrow it. You have become
A squirrel.
All right, now is when we sing the theme song.
Cool.
Terrestrials, terrestrials, we are not the worst, we are the terrestrials.
Hee hee.
Terrestrials is a show where we uncover the strangeness waiting right here on Earth. I am your host, Lulu Miller, joined as always by my songbud,
Hello,
Alan.
time to get squirrely.
And this season, we are looking at things that are usually And today's esteemed squirrel expert is
Aanya. I'm 11.
Aanya lives in Los Angeles, and in many ways, she's a typical kid.
I go to the skate park a lot because I like to skateboard.
And she used to have a pretty typical relationship to squirrels.
I'd walk past them and I wouldn't think anything.
They disappeared into the background. They were the definition of ordinary. You could see them in your backyard, in parks, in trash cans.
What's up, bro?
But one day, a squirrel ripped, and I mean literally tore its way into Anya's life and revealed a secret that this one species of squirrel holds in its brain that could be the key to sending humans to Mars. All right, should we do this thing?
Yeah.
So, Anya's story begins one day when she was 9 years old, and she dared to pack something enticing in her backpack.
Peanuts.
And during recess, she dropped the bag on the ground. And when she came back,
There was a big hole.
and nearby, a little gray squirrel.
He teared out the literal fabric.
He just ripped right through it.
Yeah. Probably with his teeth.
And Aanya noticed him, like truly noticed him,
Its little tongue as it was opening its mouth.
chomping peanuts.
Crunch, crunch.
And as she watched him chew, she was filled with all kinds of questions about this furry little peanut thief.
Yeah.
So she started researching and found out all kinds of incredible stuff about squirrels, like how their brains are so sharp they can remember the location of over 1,000 buried nuts or seeds,
That's way more than you humans could.
and how their teeth are so sharp because they never stop growing. So squirrels are constantly having to chew on things to file them down, like backpacks or porch furniture or even electric power lines.
Squirrels, they have disrupted the mainframe more than hackers have.
Really?
Yeah.
According to some estimates, squirrels are responsible for 1 of every 5 power outages.
Sorry, not sorry.
But they are not all bad news for human society.
Squirrels plant trees.
Wait, what?
Mm-hmm.
Aanya explained that as good as those squirrels are at remembering where they stashed their little buried treasures, they do forget where they put up to 25% of them. Meaning that when spring comes with a little rain and a little sun, some of those forgotten seeds
Grow into a tree, which helps us breathe.
Whoa. That's such a poetic image that this combination of like greed and forgetting lets us breathe.
Yeah.
But Aanya was about to claim something even wilder. Of all the hundreds of species of squirrels that exist out there, like flying squirrels and multicolored squirrels, like the ones from India where Anya's mom is from, it turns out there's a squirrel that lives up in the Arctic and spends its winters under the snow getting so cold that, according to Aanya, its flesh turns into a kind of popsicle or pop squirrel.
Because they have this thing that helps them change their body temperature when they're underground.
Can any other warm-blooded creatures turn their bodies that cold?
No.
I wanted to believe her, but it just seemed physically impossible that a mammal like us could drop below freezing for months and not freeze to death. Like, is she right?
She is right.
This is Dr. Drew.
Kelly Drew. I grew up in Alaska.
She spends her life studying Arctic ground squirrels with light golden fur and stubby little tails that somehow survive a winter hibernating.
These animals can actually go below freezing. Their core body temperature can go a couple of degrees below freezing.
Wow. Now, if our core body temperature was to go below freezing, ice crystals would form and rip through our flesh, and most of us would be dead within a day. But for some reason, the squirrels are totally fine for months on end. And Kelly has invited me up to Alaska to hold one of these frosty squirrels in my hands to see how they do what they do.
All right, I'm buckled in.
So one cold February day, I hopped on a plane.
We are about to take off.
And 10 hours later, I landed on an even colder February day, just a few hours from the Arctic Circle. We have reached the tundra, and I'm about to go see a very special creature.
So that would be this way.
I am on a snowy hilltop with Dr. Drew, surrounded by snowy mountains.
Oh, it is cold.
As far as the eye can see.
Yeah, it's a little windy.
I've got a million layers on, including thick wool mittens. Like if I took off my mittens, how quickly do you think I'd get frostbite?
Many, many minutes. Without
Many whole minutes without my flesh dying.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, right beneath us, under this snow, are some creatures.
They are hunkered down, and they don't have to worry about it being cold outside.
Beneath us, Kelly explained, is an intricate system of burrows.
They have really long toenails, and they can dig down until they hit ice.
After spending the summer fattening up as much as they can, the squirrels line their burrows with soft mosses and lichens and caribou fur. And as winter descends, each one curls itself into a tight little ball all by itself. And then they enter a sleep deeper than sleep. They don't eat, they don't dream, they don't even poop.
They don't defecate for 8 months.
For 8 months?
Yeah. Because they're not eating.
These little squirrels are so knocked out that you could play catch with them. And scientists back in the 1960s did, and they wouldn't wake up. So to get one of these squirrels, should we just start digging?
Yeah. Well, we might just go to the lab and find one there.
Great. Because losing the ability to talk, my lips are freezing. When we come back, we'll come face to frosty little adorable face with one of these hibernating squirrels and see what their brains may have to do with space travel. All right, Terrestrials is back. I'm Lulu, and my heart is beating very quickly because I am about to meet one of the world's most extreme hibernators. Oh, I'm so excited.
Well, good.
Kelly is holding an Arctic ground squirrel in the palms of her hands.
So this is number 2036.
Oh my gosh. It is not moving. Its head is curled under its tail.
Here, you can hold her.
Oh, wow, she is freezing.
All right.
It's like a fur ball the size of a grapefruit, say. And it feels like I'm holding a snowball. She truly feels like a corpse. She's motionless, her eyes are shut, and it's hard to believe there could be any life inside.
It's very hard to tell if they're dead or alive until you see them breathe.
But after about 2 minutes,
Oh, there's one.
a breath.
I mean, I've watched over 3 minutes and not seen a breath before.
A single breath?
Yeah.
Wow. See, to survive the cold without food for the long, long winter, the hibernating squirrels slow everything down.
You know, like turning down your thermostat in your house, you're going to save energy.
They slow their breath. They slow their heartbeat.
I mean, the heart goes from 300 beats a minute down to 5 beats per minute.
Whoa. And then
The brain shuts down.
they turn off their brain. So this squirrel in my hands, she is basically brain dead.
Just on the edge of death.
All the noisy chatter and electricity that is normally whizzing through a brain, it just flatlines. And it isn't just that the electricity powers down. The cells the electricity travels through begin wilting too. These cells in the brain are called neurons.
You think about a neuron as looking kind of like a tree.
And normally, they have long branches that reach out to other neurons. That's how one part of our brain communicates with another. But when Kelly looked inside the hibernating squirrel's brain, she saw that
The branches get smaller and less complex.
they kind of shrivel.
They're just pruning back.
Connections that store memories break and wither away, and their brain stays like that for weeks. Shriveled, and because the heart is beating so slowly, deprived of so much of the oxygen that usually feeds it. If that happened to a human brain for that long,
It's dying and not coming back.
if it happened to a human brain for even a few minutes, it would be disastrous. We would lose memories. We might have trouble speaking or walking. It would look like the brain of someone who had had a serious brain injury or disease like Alzheimer's. But these squirrels
Oh, yeah, there we go.
are different.
We've got activity.
Oh, yeah.
When an Arctic squirrel begins to wake up from its very long, very cold slumber, they shiver awake over the course of 3 hours.
That's shivering.
And after about an hour and a half, this little Snowball squirrel began to ever so occasionally shake her little arms.
She's waking up.
Yeah, this is a creature waking up.
Is almost like a little convulsion, you know? They're shivering to generate heat.
Oh, she's lifting that little head. Those big buck teeth are on display.
And as they are warming up, their brain regrows. Those wilted neurons start to branch out again, like a forest blooming after a fire.
Yeah, that's a nice way to think about it. Like fireweed coming in after a fire.
Completely regrowing in just 3 hours.
It happens so fast.
It just feels like they're skirting the rules of nature.
They skirt the rules of just about everything that we know. They definitely have something special going on.
This is why Kelly studies the squirrel. If she and other scientists can figure out how it regrows its brain, we might be able to help humans who've had brain injuries or diseases regain some of what they've lost.
I would think it would be cool, no pun intended, but to be able to cool and rewarm as a treatment for emergency medicine, maybe mental health. There's all kinds of possibilities.
Like helping people on the very, very long journey to Mars.
You can imagine what it's like being in a small spacecraft with, you know.
The boredom, the drama,
Yeah.
the human conflict.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if you can stay in a hibernating state for a little bit of that time, it would be very beneficial.
Because if the astronauts were sleeping for weeks at a time, not only wouldn't they be squabbling or getting bored, they wouldn't have to eat as much, which means you could pack way less heavy food and make it easier for the spaceship to blast off. And Kelly has gotten so close to figuring out the brain chemicals that turn the squirrel's brain off and back on that she recently became the official hibernation consultant for a NASA-funded group working on how to get to Mars.
They're going to try to start going to Mars supposedly in what, like 2040 or something?
Yeah.
I mean, how realistic is it, do you think, that we could get humans hibernating in like 20 years?
I think that it would be possible.
But what really got me interested in these squirrels is this idea that every spring, as they regrow their brain, in some sense, they are emerging anew.
They go through puberty all over again. So that's what spring is for them.
Oh,
So
what?
they have puberty every year.
What?
Yeah.
Kelly explained that even though they are adults, before they go into those burrows with adult private parts, adult hormones, adult brains, when they emerge in the spring,
They wake up as a adolescent again, really,
they power down and almost become kids again.
Exactly.
That's so wild. But so for real, though, like so much of who we are, not all of it, but a lot of who we are, I think, resides in the brain, and our likes, our fears, our memories. If some of that is lost during that sort of pruning period in a real way, like, are they the same self?
Yeah, that's a really good question.
Scientists are still trying to figure out just how much these squirrels change after hibernation. But some studies show that when they first come out of their burrows in springtime, they'll explore way further than they did before, almost like they've forgotten the boundaries of their territory. Or maybe they've just forgotten their fear of what lies beyond. But there's one thing that definitely remains.
They remember their buddies. They can remember their friends.
Groggy and disoriented in many ways, they will run right up to their friends they haven't seen in over half a year and nuzzle their noses.
They need each other, and that is something that is retained.
Wow. So they've evolved in a way that, they can forget where they hid their food or what they used to be afraid of. But if you know who your friends are, that'll help you survive.
Yeah.
It's kind of beautiful. Is that too touchy-feely?
No, I like it.
I know we'll claw our way out of this winter. We will thaw and shiver into spring. I know we will survive and find each other, even if we forget everything. We will find each other on the other side. We will find each other on the other side. We will find each other on the other side. If you forget who you are, after months in the dark, buried under the snow and the cold. If you forget all the places you've been, all the secrets you've known are now frozen. If you forget who you are and your memory fades from your delicate brain, please just know we will find each other on the other side. We will find each other on the other side. We will find each other on the other side. We will find each other on the other side. If you forget who you are, we will find each other on the other side. We will find each other on the other side.
Whew, that dude can make me feel. Alan Gafinsky, my friend and yours, with guest vocals by Tasha. And that is it for Terrestrials. There is nothing else cool about to go down. What's that?
Excuse me, I have a question. Me too. Me three. Me four.
The Badgers. Listeners, with badgering questions for the expert. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hello, my name is Clara. I am 10 years old. Why do squirrels like nuts? They could like literally any food. Why nuts?
I suppose that they like them because they're packed full of protein and energy. It's like an energy bar. But they'll eat just about anything. They eat flowers and they eat mushrooms and, they'll eat their buddy,
No, they will not. Will they eat? Will they
do.
cannibalize? They'll eat each other?
I've seen them eating roadkill.
Okay, a dead buddy.
A dead
buddy.
Okay,
a dead buddy.
Yeah. They don't.
So they'll
scavenge, right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Hey, I'm Chinjirai Kumanika. I'm 51, and I want to know, do squirrels have language?
Yeah. They'll alarm others if there's an aerial predator or a terrestrial predator with different chirps.
One is
This is Brian Barnes, Kelly's colleague. She told us to talk to because he's basically fluent in squirrel speak.
what it means is ground predator. Watch out. And it can be a fox, it can be a bear. They have a second call, which is it means aerial predator. Here comes the golden eagle. Here comes the raven.
Wow, so they have like different words.
Yes.
Hello, my name is Millie and I'm 8 years old. Do any animals actually freeze, like turn into ice, when they hibernate?
The wood frog.
Ribbit.
The heart freezes, the eyes freeze. They're 70% ice.
Whoa.
And if you bent the leg, it would snap off.
Wait, but how does the freezing not hurt the flesh?
They turn themselves excessively sweet. It's blood sugar, acts to protect it.
So if you actually snapped off one of those frozen legs, would it taste sweet like a popsicle?
You know, my grad student has done that.
He ate it?
Yes.
This is the grad student.
Hi, my name's Don Larson.
And he specified this was not a research frog, but one he caught in the wild with his fishing license. And he said he actually tasted a bit of the frog's liver.
Yeah, I just cooked it up in a skillet, fried it, and it was a very sweet liver. You taste the sugar. Yeah.
All right. I think that's the best place to leave it with the curious grad student and the frozen frog. Terrestrials was created by me, Lulu Miller, with WNYC Studios. Our team includes Alan Gafinsky, Mira Bertwin-Tonic, Anna Gonzalez, Tanya Chawla, Sarah Sambach, Joe Plord, Valentina Powers, and me, with fact-checking by Diane Kelly. Big special thanks this episode to Aanya and her mom, Rolly, for bringing us this story, and to Amy Loeffler, Clara Goulet, Loie Goulet, Ellie Bell, Katie Garcia, Tasha, Bayonet Records, and Ferris Jabbar, the writer who first made the pop squirrel joke. I came across it in a wonderful article he wrote about the squirrel for Scientific American. Support for Terrestrials is provided by the Simons Foundation, the Arthur Vining Davis Foundations, the Calliopeia Foundation, and the John Templeton Foundation. Thank you! Teachers, we wanted to let you know we are now offering all kinds of free teaching materials for many of the episodes. We've got handouts, classroom activities, really fun discussion prompts, and we worked with professional educators and the team at PBS Learning Media to make sure everything accords with national curriculum standards for science literacy, and we have them for grades K through 8. Check those out on our website, radiolabforkids.org. So many new episodes coming your way over the next few months. Catch you in a couple spins of this lumpy old planet of ours.